Metroplex. You must destroy the Decepticon warp cannons on the outskirts of the city.
GameTrailers Game of the Year Awards 2012. Best Shooter.
Just a few years ago, there were so many shooters released each year that this category had to be splintered out into first and third-person varieties. But despite record sales for the genre, the output has literally slowed to a crawl, made all the worse by us jettisoning Borderlands 2 to the RPG category. So we've come full circle and combined the two variants into one award. Despite the lack of numbers, 2012 has followed the quality over quantity mantra to deliver a handful of nominees that have kept our reticles searching for targets all year long.
Don't make me do this.
And the nominees are Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
With not much movement in the series for the last couple years, it's time for a change, and that's exactly what you get with Black Ops 2. While the execution leaves a bit to be desired, the Strike Force missions add a new flavor to the mix of bombastic set pieces, driving segments, free-fall moments, rugged gunplay, and all the other accoutrements the series is known for. And a branching story path that far exceeds our expectation raises the bar for all the modern warfare to come.
From this point on, the day never happened.
Far Cry 3.
Coming out late in the year, to ignore Far Cry 3 is to blow off one of the more interesting shooters of 2012. Following a design template that was, oddly enough, laid down by the Assassin's Creed franchise, this open-world experience places a premium on exploration and hunting, while taking you on a wild ride through a Take-No-Prisoners campaign. The multiplayer and co-op are essentially throwaways, but there's no denying that Far Cry 3's single-player component is unlike any other game in the genre this year.
Only the strongest will survive it.
Halo 4.
343 Industries has it tough. As the new shepherds of the Halo franchise, it's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Keep Halo the same at the risk of stagnating to prove it has the chops, or change it and potentially anger fans while trying to push the series forward. It's settled on the former, with impressive results. The new Promethean enemies give it a nice kick in the armor, and the episodic Spec Ops mode provides it with something to call its own. And of course, the competitive multiplayer doesn't miss a beat, even if the Forge has gone essentially unchanged. It's the full package, and a great start for a fledgling studio.
You know, I was sent down here with orders to prevent you from leaving.
PlanetSide 2.
The free-to-play genre has really dropped its shackles in 2012, becoming far more than a collection of games that you'll only play because they don't cost anything. PlanetSide 2 is leading that charge with its massive, vehicle-infused battles that span 3 different factions. While there's no win state per se, the joy of this shooter comes in moving the front line in your faction's favor, and participating in skirmishes with thousands of players attempting to move in concert. The satisfaction you glean from taking a base with a well-conceived and executed maneuver is hard to top in the space.
Resident Evil 6.
While we're certainly a little disappointed in the end results of Resident Evil 6, to harp on its few inadequacies is to sell short the myriad things it does very well. As a shooter, it brings some interesting new mechanics into the mix, with the ability to jump back to the floor and roll to evade shuffling walkers and creatures that defy description. Capcom has also finally included a much-needed full-time cover system. The gameplay variety strikes a nice balance with plenty of things to do aside from squeezing the trigger, and there are dozens of moments that will remain with us for quite some time.
That rounds out to about 70,000 hostiles.
And the winner is Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
The massive changes to the campaign we mentioned earlier were a long time coming, but even the alterations to the multiplayer suite go far beyond the mundane. With a brand new league play system to make sure you're always squaring off against equals, and codcasting functionality to help keep the competitive spirit alive, a lot of thought has been put into its long-term prospects. Then the core functionality of point streaks and the new Pick 10 loadout mechanic completely changed the foundation for the flexible. Toss in tons of tweaks to the legendary zombie mode, and you have a game that refuses to rest on its laurels, even though it can totally get away with it. With a branching original campaign and the best multiplayer on the market, Black Ops 2 is the complete package, and our pick as the best shooter of 2012.
Oh shit, that was a close one, huh?